Hi, I'm Nat, and today I want to talk about Target because since last week they've lost billions in market cap, and this all happened after their newest 2023 Pride collection. But Target has had Pride collections for years now, ever since 2012, so why is there so much backlash now? The backlash has come because people have become more and more aware over the past few years of what the LGBTQIA plus community stands for nowadays, which is not what they thought it used to stand for 5 to 10 years ago.
There is no pride in indoctrinating children in schools.
There is no pride in stripping parents of their right to protect their children.
There is no pride in sexualizing children at drag shows.
There is no pride in mutilating and sterilizing children in the name of gender-affirming care.
This June, what are you proud of? Because we have some issues that we need to talk about.
We're fighting back from inside the community. Join Gays Against Groomers in the battle against radical gender ideology that is destroying our youth.
And I know this because about 8 years ago, I used to be a huge LGBTQ activist. I not only went, but helped organize pride events and rallies. I even volunteered for one of Vancouver's biggest LGBTQ organizations in their youth section. I volunteered for about 2 years, but then I started to notice this shift that I think most people are now wising up to. You see, thanks to gender ideologues and extremists and activists, the LGBTQ community nowadays stands for transitioning, sterilizing, and medicalizing children forever. Also, the erasure of women by demanding that they give up their spaces for trans women or maybe just men that day decide they feel like a woman. They have to now include biological men in the sports and even suffer the consequences and the actual legitimate dangers that comes with including biological males in activities, sports, and spaces that used to be specifically designed and reserved for women. And now even a small sector of the activists and ideologues within the community that now presents itself as LGBTQIA plus whatever have begun to start arguing for MAPs to be included within that acronym, which are minor attracted people. Now, I'm on YouTube, so I can't really get into it, but I'll link to a video that surprisingly is still up on YouTube, where I explain a little bit more of how these two things are now starting to intersect more and more. And it's taken a while for regular people to become aware of this because mainstream media has also been captured, not just by organizations like the Human Rights Campaign and GLSEN and GLAAD and the Trevor Project, who donate a lot of money and who also get a lot of donations from mainstream media, but also by the biggest investment firms that essentially control everything and anything we see, and a lot of big corporations, almost all of them, which are BlackRock and Vanguard, for example. So there's a lot of things in play to help people just see one side of the issue and one perspective and one narrative. And at the moment, it is the narrative of those who have captured the LGBTQ community. However, in recent years, we've had a lot of dissenting voices gain a lot of traction because people are starved for truth and the other side of the story. So on social media, but especially on free speech platforms like Rumble and now Twitter, a lot of the information that gets blocked by mainstream media and that doesn't get reported is being reported on these platforms. A lot of these thinkers, reporters, journalists that are in the independent media space were in the LGBTQ community. And from within, they saw where it was headed, and now they dedicate most of their time to speak out against it. Here's not an exhaustive list, but some important ones that you should know about. Dave Rubin, Douglas Murray, Andrew Sullivan, Kathleen Stock, Barry Weiss, Blair White, Buck Angel, Glenn Greenwald, Chloe Cole, and Andy No. The only ones that can take back the LGBT community, if it's not too late by now, are LGBT people themselves. They have to weed out the activists and start speaking out against it. And there's been a lot of big efforts surrounding that by Gays Against Groomers, for example. But more and more people have to start speaking out if you do disagree with where the community has been taken and the direction in which it's headed. Because otherwise, when the pendulum swings all the way back, they will be taken down with the rest of the activists and ideologues, so their time to speak out is now. Because of the huge backlash and loss of billions and billions of dollars that some companies have seen by siding with the new LGBTQIA+ ideals and community, well, a lot of other big companies have become a little bit more worried about putting out any kind of support or being very vocal about it, and we'll have to see how it might impact their CEI scores, but big companies like Apple, who used to change all of their social media icons, for example, to the Pride flag, have stayed kind of silent right now at the start of this Pride season. So we'll still have to see if they cave into the activists and the woke mob and the woke LGBTQIA+ new community, or if they'll side with capitalism and with not losing billions and billions of dollars. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.